Hey, church family. I wanted to take this opportunity to present you with another word of encouragement as we continue to pray for the outcome of this election. Now, if you missed the hearing that happened yesterday in Arizona, then it might interest you to know that retired Colonel Phil Waldron, who's an expert in information warfare as well as in automated voting machines, he went on the record as he revealed that the common software used in most of our voting systems here in America is actually a derivative of the software which was initially created by a company called Smartmatic. Colonel Waldron doubled down on this statement by informing the Arizona legislatures that the common software used in our voting machines goes back to SGO Smartmatic, and SGO Smartmatic, well, they ended up selling Sequoia voting systems to Dominion back in 2010, and so we can see the connection between Smartmatic and Dominion. Well, then he went on to state the bottom line about a point that he was making, which is this, that all of these systems have similar code and similar functions, which according to Waldron, were designed to allow the voting record to be modified, deleted, and adjusted by administrators or even by outside threats, including hackers. Now, Waldron also assured the Arizona legislatures that he has firsthand information about the original design of the Smartmatic system. This is what he said. I personally debriefed the son of a Cuban intelligence officer who had firsthand knowledge, speaking with two of Hugo Chavez's family members in the Maduro election when the populist uprising threatened Venezuela's totalitarian leadership. He goes on to say that Hugo Chavez's family members said, "Don't worry, that it was guaranteed." Their father invested the money to build the SGO voting machines system. In other words, a member of Hugo Chavez's family personally informed a Cuban intelligence officer that the SGO Smartmatic software was actually designed to manipulate their election results so that they could maintain their political power there in Venezuela. Now, that's interesting. And it's interesting, especially in light of the fact that Joe Biden's transition team includes a man named Peter Neffinger. And Peter Neffinger is actually a chairman who's seated on Smartmatic's board of directors. Now think about that for a moment. Joe Biden actually chose a member of Smartmatic's board of directors to help him spend $9 million of government transition money. I don't like that at all. I don't like this connection at all. Not only that, but listen, according to the research conducted by the Epoch Times, Smartmatic and Dominion are both currently listed as part of the Executive Committee of the Election Infrastructure Government Coordinating Council. Now, this executive committee has worked together with our nation's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and together, they're the ones who released the statement which assures us that the November 3rd election was the most secure in American history. The most secure. In other words, we have a government agency focusing on cybersecurity, and they coordinated with this executive committee, which includes Smartmatic and Dominion, and together they've assured us that the 2020 election is completely free from fraud. I mean, if this isn't a case of the fox guarding the hen house, I don't know what it is. You know, is this the most secure, the most safe election of American history? If so, then why would we look any further into this? You know, Smartmatic and Dominion have assured us that this election was safe and secure, free from fraud. And so let's just ignore all the irregularities. Let's ignore all the votes that were shifted. Let's ignore all the data dumps, and let's ignore the fact that they're quick to want to wipe these machines. So just never mind, nothing to see here, right? Just move on. Now, if it's true that the November 3rd election was in fact the most secure in American history, well, then there's nothing to worry about, right? The battleground states should have no problem allowing a full audit of every ballot and every voting machine. If it turns out that there was no manipulation of these voting machines, then we can be confident in Joe Biden's victory. On the other hand, if the allegations of election fraud are backed up by the data, if we begin to dig into these systems and find that there was, major manipulation happening, well, then we can rejoice in knowing that our country has been spared from becoming just another banana republic. I love what King Solomon wrote in Proverbs chapter 11. There he declares this. He says, "Though they join forces, the wicked will not go unpunished, but the posterity of the righteous will be delivered." Christian, listen, if there are wicked leaders who are manipulating the results of this election on either side of the aisle, I pray that they're exposed, and we should pray together that those who are joining forces for wicked purposes will be punished. And let's pray that the posterity of our nation will be delivered from those who are evil. And let's pray for those who are fighting for an election which is free from fraud, and let's pray that they will be given the victory. And finally, I encourage every Christian, let's continue fighting the good fight of faith, all for the glory of God.